she's feeling better. Now, the former head of ICE, Tom Homan, has just been picked as border czar for the upcoming administration, and he recently went on 60 Minutes to justify the price that migrants and Americans will pay for his plan. Take a look.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
I don't care what anybody's opinion is on illegal immigration. When you create a crisis this big, all these other bad things happen. That's why we have to secure the border. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or independent. Border security is national security.
So perhaps that means that they will go back to the plan that was that both the Republicans and the Democrats were going to do at the border and was stopped by you-know-who. So maybe that's in his mind, that there is something to do there.
You realize, I mean, it's chilling what he just said. You realize that when he says, yes, families can be deported together, what he is saying is that U.S. citizens can be deported. What he is saying is, if the parent is undocumented and they have U.S. citizen children or U.S. citizen spouse, or and you don't want to separate them, then let's deport the U.S. citizens. Look, Donald Trump won the electoral vote. He won. He's going to win the House. He won the Senate. For all effects and purposes, he's got the Supreme Court. They've given him immunity. This is what the country voted for. This is, a lot of people thought that when he talked about mass deportations, he wasn't being serious. I don't know how many times he had to say it for people to realize he was being serious. Well, if you thought he wasn't being serious, the appointment of Tom Homan today as border czar, and he will be in charge of a mass deportation program, the largest the country has ever seen, they say. And now Stephen Miller, as Deputy Chief of Staff, should let you know that he was absolutely serious. And when you talk about mass deportations, people think, oh, it's just going to be the criminals. There's not enough criminals, aliens in the federal prison system for it to be mass deportations. What it means is grandmothers. What it means is brothers and aunts. What it means is abuelos y abuelas. It means dreamers. It means family members. It means your colleagues. It means your friends. It means people who are part of the society. And look, America, those of you who voted for Trump, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for. You screwed around and you're about to find out.
All that jibber jabber, and the most important thing was, what price do you put on national security? Folks, hello. It's Monday night, and it's time for Poppin' Politics. I'm KJ. Let me introduce you to my co-host. Back with us tonight is Tyrone Keys of Soldiers of Finance right here on YouTube. How's it going, Tyrone?
Pretty good. How you doing, KJ?
Doing well. Blessed. Thankful that we have a new president-elect. Yeah. Also, of course, we have Shelly E. How are you tonight, Shelly E?
I'm actually tired, but I'm okay.
All right. Well, I definitely understand that. But we're going to get right into this. As I always say, folks, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're here on YouTube and Rumble, and you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify under the name Pop and Politics. Here on YouTube, your super chats and donations go a long way in helping us produce conservative content. Any amount is appreciated. This is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that value freedom. Stand with us, subscribe, so we can amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right, let's set it off. Before we get into it, you guys, I want to acknowledge our super chatters here tonight. Thank you so much. All right, starting it off with the $5 super chat. Cerebus the Chef says, I don't believe the exit polls entirely. I think far more POCs voted for Trump because of the immigration issue. Same woman that said men are useless. Thank you so much. Kung Fu CJ.
Thank you. Hi.
says, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, hello. Thank you guys so much. Please continue the super chats and also the likes. Please like, so we can push our algorithm up, so we can definitely get more views on YouTube. We want to amplify our footprint here to push out people like the likes of The View. There are people like them a lot on YouTube, and they get tons of push up on YouTube because of it. So thank you guys so much. I want to start off with you, Shelley. What did you think about The View's reaction to the new border czar?
So number one, let me tell you, their reaction is predictable, and I love it because they are being driven crazy. They can't take it. They don't know what to do. Specifically to Ana Navarro, she conflated a couple of things in there. Number one, felons typically will have to serve their time before they're deported. That's number one, typically. Number two, parents who are here illegally keep the family together. The children are here. Maybe they were born here, but would ask them, would you want families to be separated? No. Well, then go with your parents. I mean, what other choice do we have, right? What other choice do we have? No one wants to see families separated, but we don't want illegal immigrants here. Number three, now she didn't use this word, I don't think, but I have said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I am sick of the media and calling these people migrants. No, migrants are people who move from within a geographic area or from one geographic area within the same country, like California to Maryland. Those are migrants. These people are illegal immigrants. They keep conflating all these terms. Anna, you are you're getting people revved up, if you will, saying that people, what you say, screw around and find out. Well, we are going to find out. You all screwed around for years with our livelihood, our borders, illegal immigration, our taxes, and now you are upset because even tonight, we'll probably talk about it, there has been some, I guess, breaking news, if you will, or some good news that President Trump is doing. They are going to drive themselves off of a cliff.
Absolutely. I want to get you in on this, Tyrone. Before I do want to acknowledge our super chatters here. All right. We have No Compromise with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Says they so quickly forget that this guy started under Obama. Yes, he did. He worked under the Obama administration he was an ICE. I think he was in charge of ICE under Obama. And so, of course, he was an executive associate director of enforcement and removal operations for immigration and customs enforcement under Obama. And during that administration, ICE carried out a record number of deportations. That's something that they don't talk a lot about. Under Obama, there were a record number of deportations while he was president. What are your thoughts on this, Tyrone?
Well, yeah, not only that, Barack Obama started the cages. Remember that whole controversy? So, look, we don't have to be apologetic about the security of our borders. Further, that reporter in the beginning said that it will cost $80 billion to conduct these mass deportations. Every year that we've had the Biden administration and this unfettered immigration, we've spent on average $150 billion a year. So it sounds like we're in store for a $70 billion savings. All right, so let's get it started, okay? Midnight, the 12:01, January 20th. Let's get it started. Look, as far as the kids are concerned, again, and this guy said this to Ocasio-Cortez back when he testified before Congress. Anybody in this country is riding along in a car with their child right after they finished committing a crime, if they're apprehended, they're going to be separated from their children. Now, we're not going to take care of your children. When they get 18 under the current rule, they want to come back as citizens, fine. We should do something about birthright citizenship. I think we're the only country that has that going on. But no, you got to take your kids with you. You got to take responsibility. I'm tired of hearing from these liberal women with this compassion that is destroying our nation. Let's not be apologetic about it at all.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny you mentioned the birthright citizenship. Trump said that he was going to get rid of it through executive order. He argues that it creates an incentive for illegal immigration or for a woman to simply travel to the U.S. from another country when she's pregnant. So he is set to get rid of birthright citizenship with executive order on day one, is what he said.
Absolutely.
On day one.
That's right. I think it was Epic Times I was reading earlier mentioned that Trump is seriously considering, I'm paraphrasing, considering getting rid of birthright citizenship. And he just appointed, or at least some of the news headlines are saying he just appointed Marco Rubio for the head of state.
Oh,
Secretary of
okay.
State.
Yep, Secretary of State.
Okay.
Oh, Secretary of State.
I think
Wow.
that's what's being reported in the headline.
I like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, basically, folks, it's promises made, promises kept. This was a number one issue that Trump said that he was going to target. And he's putting people in position that mean business. I believe he just also announced Stephen Miller was going to be head of the policy portion of this illegal immigration.
Good.
And we know Stephen Miller was behind him in his previous administration getting rid of these illegals. So they're not playing around. And guess what? Illegals know this. First of all, border control morale has gone up. U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents has skyrocketed following Donald Trump's landslide election victory last week, according to the Daily Mail. National Border Control Council President Paul Perez says that Trump made illegal immigration and border security central parts of his 2024 platform, promising to finish this border wall and conduct the largest deportation operation in U.S. history. There are a lot of agents that had originally said they would retire if President Trump did not win. Now these agents are saying they're going to hold back on retirement because they want to serve under this administration again. That's huge.
Exactly. Can you imagine how demoralizing it is for these border patrol agents and the customs personnel to constantly have this revolving door? You know, yes, they're getting paid, but they're working understaffed, overtime, and have to constantly have people come through illegally. They have to do whatever they do to process them, how much it costs for us to house them, feed them, you know, medical care. And these people are constantly the same people cycling through. Not only that, the money that we literally are paying taxpayer supported positions, bureaucrats off of our money. And these are the people who are not even enforcing the laws. So in a sense, indirectly, we are paying them to harm us.
Right.
We also have to take into account the financial impact on municipalities. Okay. Now you saw how much difficulty this whole immigration thing was putting New York City in, okay? Arguably one of the richest municipalities in the world. And Eric Adams himself said that this thing was going to break New York City financially.
Right.
Well, when you start to look at these smaller municipalities, they had a mayor up in South Portland, Maine. They've raised taxes to support everything they're doing for illegal immigrants. People are saying, look, I'm not going to be able to, I'm paying more in taxes than I ever was in the mortgage. Okay.
Right.
And then the mayor had the nerve to come out and say, well, maybe you need to take out a reverse mortgage to pay your taxes.
Wow.
Okay. He should have been tarred and feathered.
He should have been reversed his tenure. Reverse his tenure.
Yeah, they need to vote him out immediately.
Yeah.
And you know, you mentioned New York. I'm sorry, KJ. You mentioned New York. Now, granted, $3 million is a drop in the bucket when you compare it to billions, right? But guess what? Before you get to $1 billion, you have to get the millions. So let's start saving the 3 millions here and there, and it will add up over time. Those are called savings, taxpayer savings. 3 million this hour, 3 million the next day. That adds up. Eventually, you'll get to the billions.
But we're going to have to do something to make this permanent, because if Gavin Newsom gets in, hell, he'll just make America a state of Mexico the way he has destroyed California. So something legislatively, some court action needs to be done. in order to make sure these borders stay secure even after 2028.
This is why I've been saying our Congress, senators have 6 years. I get it. But these 2 years, when we have the House, possibly, it looks like we're going to have the House.
We do.
Senate,
They've already announced it.
Yeah.
We won the House.
Right. The Senate and the presidency, they got 2 years in the House because this is where the bill has to start. They got to start it there for the whatever and get it passed. But we have no excuse. We have zero excuse that our Congress and our Senate cannot do its job.
Absolutely. And they're trying to paint the new border czar, Tom Homan, as this racist, heartless person. But he's been on the ground working at the border. I mean, there's a story that has been, they found that it was true. So it's been, proven that there's an incident where there was a caravan of illegals, young youth being smuggled by coyotes at the border, and many of them had died, one being a 5-year-old boy. And so this man, Tom Homan, was there. He was on the scene, and he held that boy, his dead body, in his arms. And so he said then, it's not just, these liberals want to say that, we're being cruel by deporting these people. It's cruel to push forward a narrative that you can just come here illegally across the border. And then they try to do this. And many of them are being smuggled with human trafficking. Many people die along the way. This is causing deaths.
Right.
And that's on the blood of these, on this administration's hands.
Look,
Right.
The other thing I always say is, turn this right back. Nobody cares about these charges of racism anymore. Hispanics turned out in record numbers to support Donald Trump. Hispanics who immigrated here illegally, did the hard work to get here. The other thing is that we need to really emphasize is that illegal immigration drives human trafficking. It drives unspeakable horrors that happen to women and girls. It drives child labor, abusive child labor. So these Democrats are anything but compassionate. They want to perpetuate a system that basically is evil. All right. And we need to throw that back in their faces every chance we get.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you know what, Tyrone, you mentioned the human trafficking part of it. Guess where the bulk or a significant portion of the human trafficking takes place? Up and down this 95 corridor. And you know why? Particularly in this DC, Maryland area. You know why? Because we have a whole lot of diplomats and people that come foreign emissaries that come back and forth, and they can bring in these people because a lot of them get diplomatic immunity.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
It's terrible.
It
It's
is.
terrible.
Yeah. So look, we're paying for it literally through our taxes and in other ways as well.
Right.
Absolutely. I do want to acknowledge our super chatters here. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's see here. We have Laura with the $5 super chat. Says,
Laura.
not trying to be mean, but they are here illegally. So time to go. You're not being mean. You're being truthful. Laura again with the $5 super. Oh, that's
right,
Laura. Okay. Yeah. Not to mention we have been paying for them to be here. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Let me see here. So we have No Compromise with the $10 super chat. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Says it's all fun and games till they show up in Martha's Vineyard. Well, we saw that. They don't
They
want
had them out of there the same day.
same day. Right.
You're right.
Kung Fu CJ with the $5 super chat says the SC has ruled today that the states can secure their borders. Wow. I didn't
Absolutely.
see that. Thank you
I
for
didn't see
letting
that
us
either.
know. Serbius the chef with the $50 super
you.
chat. My gosh,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. Says, I am a first-generation Dominican from Brooklyn and a combat veteran of a mother that flew here alone and worked for 3 years, making $1.50 an hour to get residency and citizenship. No excuse. Biden made this so bad that it will take some time to fix. You're right.
Wow,
You're right.
thank
And
you.
a lot of legal immigrants feel this way. You can't jump the line.
Right.
What about all these people that have waited years upon years to get their legal residency here? And
Right.
and now people are just coming across the border and expect to just no consequences.
Right.
It's not right. It's not
It's
right.
not right at all. And
Thank
it's not
you guys so much.
another thing that real quick, another thing that is an affront to the people that are coming here. They've been sold a bill of goods.
Right.
They've heard the Biden administration repeatedly say they can come here for economic asylum. And then when they get here, they're sleeping in tent cities. Okay. They can't find viable employment, of course. All right. So they've been sold a bill of goods. And the reason why they wanted to do that, if you look at the Electoral College, mysteriously, everything that she won was in a state that did not require voter ID. That was the whole plan from the start, to beef up, the voting ranks with people from the cemetery and people from south of the border.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, Tyrone, what I thought about was kind of this ancillary thought. When you apply for jobs, Americans, we have to prove with the I-9. You have to prove your citizenship. And I'm thinking, why should Americans have to do that? Illegal aliens can come there. Granted, I know legitimate businesses they like to keep their papers in order. I get it. But the principle is, if I can come here legally, I don't have to show all of that. And I don't have to show all that. Why, as an American, I got to do that. I got to bring my passport or social security card or whatever and prove that I'm an American citizen.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And the chat is on fire, you guys. We see your comments coming in talking about all of this. People are not having it. It looks like, based on the chat, a lot of people are not for this illegal immigration, this open border. And we saw this, as you guys mentioned, from the votes. I mean, what was it? Over 50% of Latino men voted for Trump. That's right. But people, the left tries to paint this narrative that immigrants, legal immigrants, want this. And I get that it's sad. Nobody wants to see families separated. I don't want to see that. But do we have a law? Do we have laws? Are we a country of laws? And the answer is yes.
You know what? When you said that, Tyrone, help me out if my history is wrong. Janet Reno. What was the little boy's name? Elon.
Elian Gonzalez.
Yes. She sent his butt back, didn't she?
She sent Elian back at gunpoint. Okay, remember that picture?
Back to Cuba with his father, because he was here. Well, he was here illegally, yes, but his family was taking care of him. She sent him back.
She did.
Send him back.
During that same time, a bunch of Haitians landed in Miami, and they went out in the streets, immediately rounded them up, put them on a boat, and sent them right back to Haiti.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Please continue to hit the like button. We got to get this broadcast up in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much. All right, so I want to move on to this $1 billion campaign of Kamala Harris's. What a wasteful woman. Take a look at this. This is clip number 1.
I actually think President Biden, the whole endorsing her 30 minutes after he dropped out, I think that was a big FU to the party. You don't want me, here's somebody that you may not like. But deal with it,
Suggesting that he's sticking the party with Kamala
Kind of like
Harris.
sticking it to the man.
Yeah, but okay, help me understand your perspective on that, because you worked for Kamala Harris.
I didn't. I'm a donor.
You're a donor.
Technically, I mean, I'm not on anyone's payroll. I'm not beholden to anyone. That's why I'm here telling the truth. I'm not here to gaslight anybody. This is just the truth.
And what is the truth?
The truth is this is just an epic disaster. This is a $1 billion disaster. Actually, it was $1.018 billion, I think, right? There were $20 million or $18 million in debt.
Right.
It's incredible. And I raised millions of that. I have friends that I have to be accountable to and to explain what happened, because I told them it was a margin of error race. I was promised, Jen O'Malley Dillon promised all of us that Harris would win. She even put videos out saying that Harris would win. I believed her. My donors believed her. And so they wrote massive checks. I feel like a lot of us were misled. And even on the night of election night, I looked somebody in the eye and I said, are we going to do this? Are we going to pull it off? She told me yes. And I asked somebody else, how are you feeling? He's like, we're going to win Iowa. And I was like, what?
Do you think, did they believe this going in? Was there a real sense of false confidence on the side of Kamala Harris? Or did they know they were in store for disaster?
I was wondering about that. I was like, I asked them, are you privy to internal numbers that I am not seeing? Because I study this so carefully, and I just wasn't seeing any basis for that level of confidence.
They lied.
Hey, look, I hope she didn't borrow any of that money from Tony Soprano. She acts like she might have. You know, she's nervous. Okay.
Yeah, she's nervous. They lied, dummy.
Right.
That's what they did. I mean, look, these people lied. They have lied. These are some of the biggest liars in history. Do you hear me? In history.
It's her fault. It's their fault. How did you think you were going to have someone who never got even a primary vote? And it wasn't because she was a woman, because the 5 other women in 2020 got traction. They got primary votes. Okay. No one liked Kamala Harris in 2020 or now. She's socially awkward. She doesn't have a clue. She doesn't have the intellectual capability to even talk about the rudimentary aspects of macroeconomics.
Right.
And people know it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am not a math whiz. Tyrone, you are. I don't know how many 88 millions are in a billion, but had she spent the 88 million to send these illegals home, she may have won with that billion. She could have done that several times. Right?
She spent more than $1 billion. She spent 1.4 billion because she got Biden's money.
Exactly. But that journalist said it cost 88 million to send them back. She had a lot of 88 millions and $1 billion. She could have won the election had she done that,
did.
right?
She
could have won the election. That's number one. Number two, Lindsay is so cute. I think she's a cute young lady or cute woman. She's so cute. I mean, she just looks cute sitting there talking like a little girl. But not only that, all of these donors, either they probably get massive tax write-offs. I don't know. But I don't have, I put it like this. If I spend $100, I want to know where it went. Right? I can pretty much tell you where I went, round it off to the nearest $10 or whatever. I don't know how they just lose $1 billion and don't account for it. I don't understand that.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. They know, but what's happened is right now things are still starting to settle. There are going to be leaks saying exactly where this money went. Now we do know some of it. So a lot of this money went to pay off these celebrities. Event production was also a staple spending, according to the Daily Wire. They state event production was also a staple spending area of the Harris campaign, which notably hosted star-studded lineup of musicians from Lady Gaga to Katy Perry for an election eve rally. Also, the campaign paid more than $15 million, according to federal filings, to companies for such services. One big payoff recipient was Oprah Winfrey. She got $1 million alone.
Oh, Beyonce got 10.
Well, that has not been confirmed. I don't know. I don't think yet. The Oprah Winfrey one has been confirmed October 15th in West Hollywood, California. This was when Harris attended the rally or town hall, also in September at another rally before Election Day. So, I mean, the list goes, the money that was spent on these, this is why she had all these celebrities. They were bought and paid for.
Right. She spent $20 million on concerts the day of the election. Okay.
Wow.
Listen, here's what we need. And I know the Democrats will agree because they spent the last, 8 years doing this to Donald Trump. We need investigations. Mm-hmm. Okay. We need to get to the bottom of this, and we need to see where this money was spent in the states. And if it was spent in a Republican state, we need to get that attorney general involved and maybe get some state trials going on and some federal trials. Somebody earlier said, I don't like the tit for tat. I do, because this is the only way they're going to learn that you could bring it to us. We'll bring it right back to you. What the hell good did Donald Trump standing down on his commitment to put Hillary in jail? What good did that do? Right?
Nothing.
So look, we can all throw grenades. Okay. So it's our turn now. So let's investigate. Let's get an FEC investigation going about how this donor money was spent.
Absolutely.
Let's call Oprah Winfrey up to Congress and ask her. Beyonce, you can be on that dais as well. Tell us how much money you got.
Oh, yeah. Such liars. They're paid performers. People should not even support these people anymore because they're such grifters. They're liars. They prey on everyday Americans. People should actually be upset because many of these people, again, were paid to say what they were saying.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous. Look at that girl, call her daddy. They said they paid her Daily Wire's reporting. She got $1.7 million with a large payment to Vox Productions, Temple University, Wizard Studios North. I thought I had the information.
I know they built her studio there. They built a set.
Millions. Yeah, for 6 figures. I'm sorry, on building a set for Harris's appearance on the popular Call Her Daddy podcast. I mean, these people, and I'm so happy they lost. They lost.
Yes.
You lost your money, all that time and energy and money you put out, and you lost it. God made them pay. Thank you. All right. You guys, thank you guys so much. Please continue to hit that like button as you guys, new people come in, hit the like button and share. Thank you guys so much for your super chats. Let's see who we have here. Classy Perspective with the $5 super chat says Trump offered to pay for Kamala's campaign debt. He said he had money left over. Yeah, that's what it's.
He was trolling her.
Businessman.
He was trolling her.
Yeah. No compromise. Thank you so much for
you.
the $20 super chat. And she is part of our Freedom Seekers Club. So Freedom Seekers is a club we have here for members. You get members only video content. You also get special emojis and other things as far as when you become a Freedom Seeker. So definitely join our Freedom Seekers Club. She says a few billion here, a little bit of Diddy blackmail there, couldn't get the job done. That's how bad this campaign was. Exactly. And they're trying to say that it wasn't Kamala's fault. Of course
they don't want to say that. The media does not want to say that yet. They don't want to have to say that.
Yeah. Vernita Stith with the $10 super chat. Thank you. She says she kept some of that money for herself. Who knows?
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Find out in our hearings.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cerebus, the chef with the $2 super chat says and shares the live. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cerebus, with the $5 super chat. Says, please see, like the video. Proceeds will go towards the $20 million Kamala owes to the Hollywood elite. Yeah, it should be criminal what they did. It should be criminal.
Yeah.
Laura Matisse with the $10 super chat says, I am Hispanic, but my family came here legally. They just did not sneak into our country.
Right.
Absolutely. PG with the $5 super chat says, I think they should sell some Bibles. Oh,
they can't do that. They would burst into flames.
Absolutely.
When they put them in their hands.
Yeah, and see, and remember how they got on Trump for doing that. He's not in arrears. He's not in arrears now. He sold Bibles. He sold sneakers. He did all of it. And good for him for doing it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. I want to continue here. I definitely want to, guys, we're going to continue to follow this. They are going to start putting out information behind who got paid what. And we're going to be right on top of it, bringing you guys the latest on that. Absolutely. So now we have this push in the Harris campaign for Biden to resign. Have you guys been hearing that? They want him. See, I think you said something about it, Tyrone. You mentioned how now they're trying to blame Biden for the loss of the election. We saw Pelosi on Sunday morning talk shows blaming him. The left and Democrats always find a white man to blame. Take a look here. This is clip number 2. What's up, guys? We are the ladies of Pop and Politics. And guess what? We have merchandise. We got merch. Check it out. We have a website, www.popandpoliticslive, where you guys can pick up the latest merchandise that we have here. Here's something. I use this every morning for my cup of tea. It's a Pop and Politics mug. Yeah, politics. So, and I love it. So definitely check it out. We've got some cute shirts on there. Shelly, you have a shirt there that you love, right? Yes, girl, cute shirt. And so definitely check it out. Again, www.popandpoliticslive.com. Appreciate the support. All right,
Go there now.
yes.
Is looking for? That is my question. I'll start with you.
Joe Biden's been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to, from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats
Okay, this
operate.
has now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal's out here right now.
Congratulations.
Season of House of Cards.
I thought you were going to say, what about the Supreme Court? That's also out there.
Well, the Supreme Court might happen. I don't know if it will, but I think this is something that's...
These people are sick. So that was Jamal Simmons. He's the former communications director for Vice President Kamala Harris. Provoked an immediate reaction when he suggested on live television that Joe Biden should consider stepping down. They always want something for nothing.
Always.
Yep,
And they're
always.
basically saying we're okay with making her a DEI president.
Right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
it's black women, black liberal women should come from every hill and holler in America to say this is wrong. She didn't earn it. She lost. Okay. Now, y'all done stood fast with Biden this far. Okay. You can 6 weeks ain't gonna hurt you. Okay. Stick in there with the old guy. And the other thing is Jill is not letting him lead the presidency for Kamala Harris. Jill will wear a Biden mask if she has to. They're not going anywhere. Jill came out basically and did everything but say she voted for Trump. Did you see that?
Pretty much.
Red pantsuit.
Pretty much.
To vote.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Shelly, what are your thoughts here?
They are going to try to find anything and everything they can do. Again, they want to not accuse her or not have her responsible for anything. That's number one. They're going to try to blame Tom, Dick, and Harry and whomever in order to not appear that they are attacking this particular Black, Asian, whatever woman she is today. These people, I've said it before, we've all said it, they will stop at nothing. I mean, this is highly unlikely that it will happen, but we said last week, I don't doubt that they are scheming. They are scheming for time. They're going to keep scheming. They're going to keep plotting. This is what they're going to do until January the 20th, or what is it, noon 01 or a minute after noon. They will plot. And truth be told, they're not going to stop after that.
They're not.
Absolutely.
They're not. And you know, KJ, this is such the suggestion. He thinks he's doing something, but the suggestion is actually an affront to women,
Right.
because you would have an asterisk beside the historical achievement of the first female president. Okay.
Right.
It would be like Ford when you say who was the only president that was never elected president or vice president. It's Gerald Ford. So he has the asterisk. Kamala Harris would have that and take the achievement away from someone who will eventually come along and be a qualified woman.
Who earns it?
Who earns it. Right.
Right. It's shameful, but this is what they do. This is the whole narrative and rhetoric behind DEI. They do not want anyone to earn anything. And she would be just as shameful. If it was me, I wouldn't accept it. I was
going to say she would accept it.
She will.
She would get up there and cackle and smile and she would accept it as if you would be proud of something that she earned it. She would accept it. She would not be embarrassed one bit.
Just like Ketanji Brown accepted it when Joe Biden came out and said, I'm not interested in your jurisprudence expertise. I'm not interested in what law school you graduated from or how many trials you won. I just want Black skin and a vagina. And Ketanji Brown She said, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
No, and Tyrone and KJ gets upset with me when I say at least I can go sell mine.
My God. Tyrone, you want to respond to that? Do you have a response?
I will only respond by saying this. My dearly departed grandmother used to have a joke, a lewd joke. She would say, what is the difference between a lady of the evening and a drug dealer? And the punchline was, the lady of the evening can wash her crack and sell it again.
Oh.
I love your grandmother. I love your grandmother.
Oh my gosh.
That was her.
I'm just saying, on an economic sense, at least I would be selling mine. You know what I'm saying? Compared to just
no, we don't know.
Look, the serious fact of the matter here is that the Democrats are the main ones out here hollering about women's rights, about how women should be, occupying all of these different positions. Hey, fine. If they can actually do it. In this case, all right, like I don't have a problem with female airline pilot as long as she can fly the damn plane. Okay. I don't have a problem with a female president. Condoleezza Rice would make an excellent female president. All right. She ain't running. Okay. So we just have to wait until someone qualified comes along.
Right.
Hillary thought she was it. She got taught otherwise. Kamala should have never been appointed for that.
Well, yeah. I'm willing to stake my claim and say the first female president will not be a Democrat because they continue to lie and scheme and push these grifting women up front. And again, that takes us to the next topic, this FEMA leader. So the Daily Wire broke the story regarding a FEMA official relief worker skipping houses with Trump signs. So a federal disaster relief official ordered workers to buy, she was a woman, she was a black woman, she was a black woman. She ordered workers to bypass the homes of Donald Trump supporters as they surveyed damage caused by Hurricane Milton in Florida, according to internal correspondence obtained by the Daily Wire and confirmed by multiple federal employees. She would tell workers in a told workers in a message to avoid homes advertising Trump as they canvassed Lake Placid, Florida, to identify residents who could qualify for federal aid. Internal messages viewed by the Daily Wire revealed. This is shameful. Shameful.
It is. She needs to go to jail.
She should.
There's got to be something.
There's got to be something.
Federal law that will send her butt to jail. And we did a video of this incident on Soldiers of Finance. And when you look at this woman, you know that she is in church every Sunday. Okay. Holy Ghost filled, sanctified, satellite dish hat on, telling everybody how she's the perfect Christian. Okay. Meanwhile, putting lives in danger. You're telling people to skip houses. You don't know what's going on in that house.
No.
Okay. These are tax-paying citizens, but there really needs to be an investigation done because she felt empowered to not only tell her employees this, but she immortalized it in an actual method and procedure. She documented it. Right. So if she felt that empowered, then I've got to believe that her supervisors at least created the type of atmosphere where she would have been comfortable doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. When I heard the story, at least one thing came to mind. Number one, we know how, especially during the scamdemic, the conservatives, Republicans were talking about how we were being shadow banned and blocked and censored. And no, they're not. Y'all, no, it's not. And but if somebody would do something like this lady has done in the FEMA, why would they not do something a little bit less? Just blocking someone, censoring them on the internet. That's a lesser matter compared to someone's life. So if they're willing to put someone's life in jeopardy because of a political signage or whatever, it doesn't. I don't put anything past them. These people are what I call, they major on the minors. And again, that's putting it lightly because people's lives were actually in danger. They major on the minors. People like that make me sick. And I mean, my stomach turns when you have people who can't separate out heavier matters versus, lighter matters, particularly when it's a life and death issue, regardless of someone's political leanings, skin color. People like that literally make me sick. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. When you have people that make what the old people say, mountains out of molehills, and you have lives at stake, these people are evil. They are evil.
That's evil. And you actually had some of her employees jot down, I'm not going to this house because, as per the procedure, it has a Trump sign. Now, everybody needs to understand, I don't care where you're working, you are under no obligation to adhere to an illegal order. Okay.
Absolutely.
That is in your soul, you should know, hey, this is wrong. Okay. I'm not going to pay attention to her. Let the chips fall where they may. But again, apparently this attitude permeated the entire organization.
Oh, yeah.
What about those people in Appalachia? Remember, they couldn't get help.
No.
Okay, for days.
Absolutely.
So we got the same thing going on there. And remember, back during the Tea Party days when they first came out, the IRS and Lois Lerner. Remember how they were denying the 501c3 status?
That's right.
Okay, so this
under
is
the Obama administration, how he sicked the IRS on these Christian nonprofit groups that were against. Look at how they did that. That's why people say, "Oh, everybody, if you're in charge, you get to make the rules." No, you don't. No, you don't. And you cannot enforce, and people should know like you said, you're not under any obligation to follow every rule, every law, just because you do have a conscience. If at some point your conscience should kick in, especially when the rule, if you will, is putting more lives in danger. Right. This is why we have people who we call heroes. They go above and beyond the call. And sometimes there are people in the military, talking about Veterans Day, there are people in the military, particularly these last few wars, that literally disobeyed orders to go and save their fellow brothers in cadre because the officers told them, no, don't go in there. They said, no, I'm going after my people. They broke the rules, if you will, but now they're considered heroes because they said, damn you, damn that order. I'm not following it. I'm going to save my brothers and my comrades.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you all both have mentioned, and the chat is on fire. Lock her up. Lock her up. I agree with all of you. Lock her up. But this is a culture that is not just in federal government. It's in the school system. It's in corporations. Partisan leftists push their activism, and they create a culture of othering people, of conservatives or people that have voted for Trump. This is why I said on my social media today, since this election, parents, make sure you're talking to your children and that they are not being demonized or vilified or any type of pushback is given on them because they may have conservative viewpoints or because they voted for Trump or the parents voted for Trump. Make sure you're talking to your children because this has become okay in institutions all over the country. They do this. It's really sick, not just to children, but even on the job. How many people, I know of at least a handful, went to work on Wednesday after the election and people in management made large statements or held meetings about how bad the country will be under Trump, giving mental health days because Trump was elected. It's sick.
I've never seen anything like this before. Listen, I voted, the first president I voted for was Clinton. Okay. But I voted for, I did not vote in 2008 for president. I didn't vote for president. But I guess my first losing election was Romney versus Obama. Okay. And I just went to work the next day. Okay, he's president again. I got to do my thing. I didn't burn down anyone's store. I didn't riot. Okay. Trump, I voted for him in 2020. He didn't win. Okay. I have some concerns about that.
Right.
But, you know, I went to work. I did my thing. Okay. I didn't spaz out. I didn't need, you know, psychiatric help. This is the first time I've seen anything like this, but it's a testament to this sick ass media that is driving this psychosis. Okay. People like Joy Reid, Joy, whatever her name is, the women on The View, and I use that term women loosely when I refer to them. These people are driving this, and folk are internalizing it.
Yeah, you know, and Tyrone, it also goes to
before you come on, Shelley, breaking news: Kash Patel has just been named CIA director.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yes, I like Kash. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. He's been named CIA. Let me just make sure I'm looking.
Oh,
CIA director.
He's good. Oh, that is wonderful. Good. Congratulations. This is another thing. Again, then this may not be the most important, but it also goes to teaching our young people, our children, even ourselves, that everything is not all the same, right? There are priorities. Some issues are more prioritized than others, like life. Okay, then you know, whatever other sin you want to put under there. I don't buy into that all sin is the same. I don't do that. I mean, maybe all sin, but I don't see it. I don't say all sin have this, you know, is the same. Let me just say it that way. So I prioritize them. So this woman, literally, in the culture, like you said, the culture that created this or allowed this has no sense of, well, it's probably a little bit more wrong, if you will, to have people die particularly because of their political standings, versus you going to get them and you just not liking them. Maybe they're on the wrong side. There are different priorities here.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to acknowledge
real quick. This is the participation trophy. They literally want her to get a participation trophy of 6 weeks of the presidency.
Right.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I want to acknowledge our super chatters, folks. Thank you guys so much. Please continue to hit that like button. We're trying to push our video up on the YouTube algorithm. Your likes do help us with that. We want to get rid of people like The View and Joy Reid, who get a ton of likes for what? So thank you guys so much. LAPD SWAT with a $5 super chat says, do you expect any crisis occurring between now and January 6th or the 21st? Semper Paratus, happy Veterans Day. Legend, class cutter, great looking boat. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. I am privileged and have the honor to sit here with two of the most distinguished veterans that I know, Shelley E. and Tyrone Keys of Soldiers of Finance are
That's
both
not saying
veterans.
much about the United States military. But Semper Paratus is always ready as the Coast Guard's motto.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Cerebus the Chef with the $10 super chat says they want her to fail upwards. Exactly. Speaking of Kamala Harris. Exactly. Kung Fu CJ with the $5 super chat says they want to make Harris the 47th president. They want to make history. Yeah, history. All right. So you can make history the same way. You have diarrhea 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Tell people the Titanic was history.
Laura Matisse with a $5 super chat says they are desperate to make Kamala president, even if it kicked out poor old Joe. Yeah, he can barely stand on a bike. They're ready to kick him out of the White House, just like he fell off that bike.
Like I'm with you, Tyrone. Jill is not going to let it happen.
Oh no. Chadwick with the $10 super chat says November 19th, 2021, Kamala Harris became sitting president of the United States for 1 hour and 25 minutes while Joe Biden got a colonoscopy. She was president of the United States for 85 minutes. Wow. No compromise with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, whatever will they do when they can't run the first non-binary, gay, trans, Black, Asian, Latino, Native, Indian woman?
Oh, God.
They need that stuff to run on. I know. Yeah. Sarah Biz with the $5 super chat says Kamala just wants to go back to Cali and dive into her box wine. She doesn't want it. I don't think she ever did after 2019. Her decimation killed her. Yeah, you remember?
I don't know. I think she would take it. I think she would take it, Sabira's.
Yes, Sabira's with the $5 super chat says Elon just dropped another bombshell. Trump video going after the university Marcus elites. Yes, I did hear about that. We have LAPD SWAT with a $5 super chat. Oh, we did all that one. Okay, yeah. Trump he had posted a 10-point plan. He relayed a vision and a message. 10 points, but just to go through it quickly, he talks about is reissuing his 2020 executive order for restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, which is what we need, definitely need. He's going to clean out the corrupt actors in the national security and intelligence apparatus, reform FISA courts, expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart. I mean, the list goes on. He's got a whole 10-point plan here about dissolving this bureaucracy in the deep state. So, I mean, it's his promises made, promises kept. That's what all I can keep saying.
No, absolutely.
So, speaking of the bureaucracy, I want to talk about this Senate Majority Leader fight that seems to be going on right now. So Mitch McConnell is said to be leading a shadow campaign to install an anti-Trump Republican as the Senate Majority Leader. So President Trump weighed in on this on Sunday, basically saying that he wanted the coveted position. Whoever receives the coveted position must agree to recess appointments. So this is allowing Trump to appoint cabinet secretaries and other high-ranking officials for up to 2 years without Senate confirmation. All three candidates for the position quickly backed the idea. So the next GOP leader will become Senate Majority Leader in January when Republicans take control. So right now they're battling, I believe it's Rick Scott from Florida.
Thune, I think Thune in South Dakota. Is that where he's from? And I'm from Cornyn. What are
you guys' thoughts on this? I'll start with you, Tyrone, on this.
Well, I think that one of the things that Mitch McConnell is apprehensive about, his family is, his wife is an heir to the foremost group. Elaine Child, the foremost group is a Chinese shipping company. Okay. Now, this company, her sister, as a matter of fact, Angela Chow, mysteriously died a while back, drove her car into a pond in a strange Hillary type. Did I say Hillary? In a strange twist of events. In any event, the tariffs that Trump wants to impose, okay, they would hurt the foremost group. I'm just putting that out there, okay, because tariffs are designed to promote domestic purchasing and domestic growth of industry, okay? It's not good for goods coming across the ocean, which would have a tariff on them, making them more expensive. But they're not more expensive if you purchase them from America. So that's just a roundabout way of saying, I think Mitch McConnell has some financial interest in putting someone in place who is going to stand in opposition to Trump on some of the issues, most notably tariffs.
Oh, okay. Okay. What are your thoughts here, Shelley?
So this goes to, again, my theory, one of my theories of what I call, again, real intersectionality, how all these people, they marry opposite parties, whatever, foreign people, if you will, or immigrants, naturalized immigrants. And all that matters is their power, their money. Party is out the window. Politics is really out the window. They are only marrying, not only, but they are marrying and they combine their assets and their leverage. So this is what's important to them. That's number one. This also goes to show on a political level for our side that, I'm going to say it, we do some of the same back room wheeling and dealing. We might do it on a lesser level to a lesser degree, maybe not as public as the Democrats do, but we do some of the same stuff that will spite our faces. If this is what Mitch McConnell is doing, he has no interest in securing or being leveraging the power that we have to do good, not just abuse the system and abuse Americans, but to actually do good for America. That doesn't matter. What matters is him maintaining his power through his wife's family, his control, his assets, or whatever. Not that he's ever going to be poor, okay? But that's the only thing that matters. And this is what makes me upset and angry about our side as well. When we like to play, this, that we don't do these things. Oh, yes, we do, just not to a larger degree.
I mean, Shirley, you hit the nail on the head. You want to talk about an arranged marriage for power, prestige, and money. Right. Elaine Chao and Mitch McConnell, okay? This is the most lopsided. Okay, now I married my wife for love. We love each other. And we ain't got the money that Elaine Chao and, Mitch McConnell. That's what we do down here at our level. We marry for love. But they marry for power. And that is the quintessential. He's got the politics. She's heir to the throne of a financial empire.
Who else? Other one? John Kerry and Teresa Hines. Those two. And over the weekend, I knew I remember hearing Ketanji, what's her name? KBJ, whatever, Ketanji Brown. She is the sister-in-law to Paul Ryan, the former Speaker of the House, a Republican. Her husband is Paul Ryan's brother-in-law's, they're twins.
Wow.
So I'm saying that's why I keep all these entanglements, if you will. Granted, I mean, these people are legally married, whatever. But my point is that all of these things, these people, they go to the same schools, they live in the same neighborhoods, they, the social clubs, whatever. Fine, marry who you want. But my point is that it's bigger than just like you saying, Tyrone, we marry for love. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm of the mindset, look, all that Trump has been through to become president, the lawfare, the suing for his money, they try to attempt at his life, all of this stuff. You guys may not agree with me, and this may be the wrong sentiment. Give the man what he wants. If he doesn't want Thune and Cornyn, put Rick Scott in there and let him put forth the mandate that the people have chosen him to do.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because what he's doing is for America. It's good. The things that he wants to do, they are good things. They are constitutional. They are legal. They're things that we have been saying that we need to do forever, if you will. And I'm saying, again, Congress in general, but certainly outside, I talk about outside, I've been complaining. Outside has not been doing its part in upholding our Constitution and in supporting when we have the opportunity to do so.
Right.
Absolutely. And
I was saying, I saw someone posted, what do we think about the current appointments or some of the people he's named in positions? I think he's doing a great job. I mean, from Susie Wiles, she's the chief of staff. Remember they said that he doesn't like women. He's making this. Right. She's the first female chief of staff in White House history. Again, we mentioned Tom Homan, I believe his last name is, for the border czar. Who else?
I love Cash Patel. Cash Patel, Marco Rubio,
Lisa Stefanik. I love her. Yes. UN ambassador. Yes. Who else? I think he said Lee Zeldin has a position as well from New York. Lee Zeldin. I think he's going to be in the EPA. So he's made some great picks so far. I personally believe.
I do too. I think so too.
Yeah. So looking forward to seeing the others that are being chosen. So you guys, please continue to hit that like button. We need your likes. We certainly appreciate you for hitting that like button. I want to acknowledge our super chatters here. All right, we have Kung Fu CJ with the $2 super chat. Says Trump wants CC in all 50 states. What did we see?
Concealed carry.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, that's right. I should have known that.
Yes, I did see that. All of this sounds great to me. It sounds great.
And Trump, whether whether they give it to him or not, I mean, he has a mandate. They should say, hey, look, this is clear. And the Senate and the House rode in on his coattails. At this point, Trump's smarter. Okay. Right. He knows this is why you're seeing these, unorthodox picks, because he's not taking from these, traditional swamp creatures like General Kelly, for example, a liar, an absolute vile liar. Right. And it's so disgusting that him, John Brennan, all of these people that, tout patriotism and are supposed to have the best interests of the U.S. at heart, they are anything but. So Trump is in a position where he has nothing to lose.
Exactly.
Okay? Trump, look, let's just talk turkey. Trump ain't got another 30 years on this planet. He's already made the money. He can't run for re-election. That's the type of guy you stay out of that guy's way. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to acknowledge our super chatter. All right. Let's see here. We have Ren Button with the $10 super chat. Says, I love this channel. Y'all actually say out loud what a lot of us are thinking. It shows me that I'm not alone in my common sense. Keep up the fantastic content. Thank you. Thank you,
Ren. You are not alone.
Yes, you certainly are not. And we know that is a fact now because of this election. We actually, reports are showing it happened in 2020 as well.
2020, it happened. Well, and not only that, I mean, in 2000, when George W. Bush, the hanging chads and all that stuff, you look at the map then, it was red. So look at Reagan's map, it was red. This is not an anomaly. It's only an anomaly because the media has become more leftist, more progressive. So they only think that their world, everybody thinks like them. So this is why it's an anomaly to them.
Oh, yeah.
But thank God it happened this way, though, because we needed the disaster that was Biden and Harris to wake up this country.
Yeah. So he got all 7 swing states.
Right.
I love it.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. And it lit a fire under us. Sometimes we need this in history to make us value what America is. It lights a fire under us to say, hey, you have to stay vigilant. You can't sleep on, and because this can as easily as, it's not easy, but this can easily be taken away.
Right.
Absolutely. It can be easily taken away. So now folks are alert and they are aware. And like we always say on here, to be aware and prepare. We can connect with the lions out there. Guys, we are lions. You all here are patriots, are lions. We need to stay together, be a community together. So, as we know, because they're not done. Exactly. The Democrats, the left are not done. They've lost this battle. They're home licking their wounds and burying their dead. And they are going to come back with something else diabolical and demonic. And we got to be ready. We got to be ready.
What did Ronald Reagan say? Freedom is always one generation from extinction.
Absolutely.
And you cannot sleep on it, really.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And speaking of that, I want to talk about this 4B movement. So, I mean, these leftists are nutty, nutty. All right. So now we have this 4B movement. And before I show you guys this clip, basically, 4B is a shorthand for the 4 Korean words Bayon, Baichusan, and Bayonan, and Baisekusu. I'm not sure.
It means no, basically no.
Which translates to no marriage, no childbirth, no dating, and no sex with men. So the 4B movement emerged in South Korea around 2015 to 2016. Per Ju-Woo and Judy Han, an assistant professor in, of course, gender studies at the University of California in Los Angeles. Mostly popular among young women in their 20s, she described it as a fringe offshoot of Me Too and other feminist movements that arose in response to stark gender inequality in the country. And now it has really risen, because of Kamala Harris's loss. Take a look at this. This is clip 3.
The first question I'm asking everybody in my life from this moment forward, who did you vote for? If I get anything aside from Kamala, get the out of my face. I am done, honestly. It costs me $0 to cut people off. And in this economy, I'm taking all the free shit I can get.
Donald Trump is president, and I think all women should stop having sex for the next 4 years in protest and protection of your bodies. As we know, if that little baby inside you gives you any trouble and you need an emergency healthcare, you're fucked and you're gonna die. I think that is sufficient enough reason to stop having sex. Don't you agree? This vote wasn't a vote for Americans. This vote was for men. And unless we want to become the Handmaid's Tale, then us women need to protest because this is some buttery bullshit.
I'm gonna be honest, I was very blindsided by the results this morning. I've decided that cigarettes don't count today, and I honestly might go get a tattoo. But I also have decided that for the next 4 years, I am going to abstain from schmex with men. And funny enough, I actually just broke up with my boyfriend a handful of days before the election, and it had nothing to do with the anticipation of Donald Trump winning this election. It had everything to do with problems within our relationship and massive differences between who we were as people, which was unfortunate and sad. I wish him well, though. But yeah, as a woman, my bodily autonomy matters, and this is my way to exercise sovereignty over that. So I highly encourage any other women that are single and care about progressing women's rights and still fighting for our bodily autonomy to do the same. Delete your dating apps, because we can come together in community, and if you need somebody to cuddle or hold your hand or give you a kiss, I bet you one of your girlfriends would do it, okay? And you don't even have to really be gay, okay? It's okay to have a lot of platonic love for the next 4 years. I think we can look to South Korea and the 4B movement as a point of inspiration for us.
All I have to say is good luck getting laid. Especially in Florida, because me and my girlies are participating in the 4B movement. That's my next plan. And I'm dead fucking serious.
Okay. Power. Female power. I'd say I'm behind those women 100%. I applaud it. I am woman, hear me roar. Okay. I think that they're on the right track. I hope they have a database that shows all of the women that are participating in this great movement. Okay. And gentlemen, check that website before you look into a young lady. Make sure that if the 4B woman is on it, don't even bother. This is going to do wonders for men, because we will know we will know who's crazy right off the bat. They're telling you, men. So I applaud it. I hope they keep publicizing it. Let them know who you are, ladies. And when you wake up and become sane again, you'll be 30. And everybody that you could have married, it will already be betrothed. But don't let that stop you. Go for it. I support this 100%.
Exactly. I want to know why this is not considered cultural appropriation. I mean, they always talk about culture. You can't culturally appropriate everything. This is a Korean movement. It started there. Why are these people not being called racist and cultural appropriators? Number one. Number two, why does it seem like, maybe it's true, but why does it seem like women come up with the most stupid, foolish, nonsensical, just don't make sense things? I don't understand. I mean, I do, but I don't. And then they parade it around like they're really doing something, brilliant and courageous and meaningful. They look stupid and they don't know it. And it's one thing to be ignorant of something and say, you know what, I don't really know that. I don't understand that. Can you help me understand it? Can you explain it to me? But when you don't know, you're ignorant, and then you parade as if you really are not. That's the worst place to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. I applaud it. I am happy for this movement. Two things. Firstly, I think it's great that women are starting to actually realize the value in themselves and their body. We've seen in the last, several decades or so, the body has become degraded. People don't, the body's a temple. If we know, especially if you're Christian, you understand that, the Messiah came down in a human body. And a lot of people do not talk about this enough, but our body is of value. It is a temple, as the Bible says. And so, when these women go around and you having casual sex with any and everybody, number one, your vagina looks like a piece of used meat, raw meat, and so, the wear and tear of that is one thing. But number two, we need to start pushing abstinence until marriage, and valuing the body and relationships and things like that. I applaud it. If these whores, because many of them were whores, and now there's going to move on to abstinence, give that punani a rest, and really start to maybe put forward a lot of energy into platonic relationships. Actually having a conversation with a man before you sleep with him. Get to know.
I'm glad that some babies will be saved. So
yeah, I love it. I love it. I hope they they decide to actually do this and not turn into lesbians, because many of them probably will try to do that. They're saying, well, I don't want to be a man, I'll sleep with a woman, become real liquors all the time. But whatever. I love it.
Well, one of the girls pretty much alluded to that, but then the last young lady said, me and my girls, we're not going to be, I don't know if you could speak for your girls. You know what I'm saying? If your girls are being completely honest with you, maybe by February, maybe the movement's over. We don't know.
Yeah. But I hope they actually do decide to do this. I really do. We need a movement of abstinence. Give yourselves a rest, because I know you all are putting in work. Okay. But we will continue to follow this movement and see what comes of it. Not only are they doing this, they're shaving their heads too. These people are nutty. And that's actually, when you see, remember who shaved their head? Britney Spears. When she was having a mental breakdown, she shaved her head. A lot of people, when they start, the women particularly, when they are having mental breakdowns, they shave the head. It's actually something to do with MK Ultra. Definitely look that up. But they're doing this too. Honestly, these people are so weird and nutty. I hope God turns this around, turns it into something, positive. But this is another thing. And they're wearing masks. So that was another thing they wanted to add to it. The no sex, shave head, and they say we need to mask up again, wear a mask over our faces to prevent men from actually getting to see us. So
the only person that I've heard from so far is Stephen A. Smith, who is actually saying, listen, guys, you didn't talk about the issues that actually matter. Now, he's a Kamala Harris supporter, but he's being honest. He's, doing a postmortem on the situation objectively, and he's right. Okay, but thus far, most Democrats are still in the grief stage. And I don't know if they're ever going, Democrats tend to double down when they lose.
Yes.
So you can possibly, if history is an indicator, look for them to become even more leftist and insane.
They'll just continue to lose elections. So I just continue to hope that and pray that the populace and voters and Americans continue to stay wide-eyed to the craziness on the left, and not fall victim to mainstream media pushing narratives that are untrue. So we'll continue to follow that story. But I want to move to something a little lighter. I guess this is kind of lighter, and get you guys' opinion on this. Take a look at this. This is clip number 5.
And my other friend, Yaya, always goes, white girls don't wash their legs. We talked about this. White girls don't wash their legs. I go, why do my legs need to be washed? They're fucking covered all
It's
day.
very true.
It's not like my legs are going out without me.
It's very true.
And when I take a shower, all the soap from my shower comes down. Tiffany, I had this conversation with too.
So you feel like that's washing. You feel like that.
It's not like my legs are out there gardening all day without me.
So bad. You fucking wash your legs.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't think? No.
What is going on with your legs that they need washing?
It's your body. You wash your body, Chelsea. Your entire body. You don't pick and choose.
I have hot spots. I have hot spots that I wash. I get 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
And I get those going, and then the 5th is the head, and then everything is fine. After that.
No, it's not.
Okay, so that was comedian Chelsea Handler on Kevin Hart's program. He has a show, and she's saying that white women don't wash their legs. And have you all heard of this? I'm going to see in the chat too. Let me know, you guys. Is this something that's actual thing?
I've never heard of it. I do know that Sheryl Crow once said that for the sake of the environment, for the sake of the planet, she was only using 1 square of toilet paper. And then shortly thereafter, what's that guy, Lance Armstrong? Mysteriously, they broke up. So maybe one thing had something to do with the other. I don't know. But man, Kevin Hart is annoying. But anyway, I've never heard of not washing your legs. I agree with Kevin Hart that I always thought you were supposed to wash your entire body. That's just what I thought.
I mean, I never even thought of not washing any part of your body, when you're in the tub or the shower. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know she's a comedian. I mean, in the sense
serious.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm gonna say in the sense of her being a comedian, it was funny. But when you think about it, I'm like, well, I never thought about not wash. It doesn't even come to me like not to wash a certain part of your body.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a liberal thing, a leftist thing, because I'm seeing people in the chat say, yeah, they wash their legs. It's like, what do you guys think? Do you white women wash their legs? This is crazy.
I mean, I'm thinking, do they wash their feet? I mean, because if you don't bend down to wash your legs, I guess you don't wash your feet either. I don't know what.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, though, what do we know? I mean, we didn't know you wash collard greens in the bathtub. So,
Right. Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. But I do have a super chat here. Let me see here. So we do have some super chats here. Laura Matisse with the $2 super chat says, well said. I think she's talking about the previous topic. Okay. She also says, praying for Trump. Continue to pray for President Trump. We all must. No compromise. No, I wash everything. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's probably something Chelsea Handler does or whatever. But yeah, that's crazy. So I think we've come to the end of our time tonight, guys. We touched on everything on the list here. So yeah, again, we will continue to follow the Senate Majority Leader contest. I'm going to continue to follow that, see who is put in place there. Also looking forward to more appointments, announcements from President Trump regarding his staff. So far, I'm very pleased with who he has announced in different positions. So waiting to see what RFK Jr. gets, if anything, Vivek, Elon Musk, all of them, really excited to see how they fit into the new administration. Any final thoughts from you all? I'll start with you, Tyrone.
Just going back to LAPD SWAT, he asked a question about, did we think something would happen before the inauguration? I pray not, but I think we should all stay vigilant, definitely. And of course, encourage everybody to check out the Soldiers of Finance channel. We got a very packed lineup this week.
Okay. All right. Absolutely. And Shelley, final thoughts from you tonight.
Oh gosh, I don't have any except to say again, Happy Veterans Day. I'm still thankful. I hope I always am thankful to be born in America. You know, I'm a Native American, but thankful for our country. I am thankful for it, not just because President Trump won. I'm beyond exuberated that he did, but I'm thankful because this is actually the greatest country on earth, and we all get a part of being here, stewarding, you know, being good stewards of our country, of our time and our talents. So let's hope we can just keep that up and keep supporting President Trump in the right direction.
All right, absolutely. And I'll end on that same note. You know, I've been seeing a lot in the chat talking about people are happy that they found a home of like-minded people. And sometimes it does feel like, as conservatives, we are alone. Like no one else thinks like us. It's very few and far between. But folks, this election has taught us that is a lie. We are out here. We are reasonable people, fun people, but most importantly, we love our country. And so again, thank you all so much for riding with us. I know we have some new viewers on here that have recently subscribed. We really appreciate you. We are a community. We are a family. We come in all different shapes, sizes, colors, genders, but one thing unites us in love for our country and love for truth. So we will see you again on Wednesday night. Once again, we want to thank all of our veterans, all of you who were courageous and who decided to give the oath, raise your hand to stand up for this country on the front lines. We appreciate you all here. And of course, those who have passed on, we thank you for your service. So again, we will see you on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the like button and share. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe. All right. Let me see here. I think we do have some additional super chats. Let me see here. All right, no order, greatest to hear like minds. Yes, thank you so much. Not ordinary with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. All right, so until next time, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Good night.
Good night.